Think it. Make it. Trade it. More than a trading platform. We welcome you to visit us at www.prodigiorts.com. Hello and thank you for joining us. This is a tutorial on how to use the risk settings panel within the Prodigio RTS platform. The settings tab is located at the top of the page. This is probably one of the most important pages you really need to focus on when deploying an RTS strategy. Please take note, right here in white text, settings only apply to related automated trading. The settings in this page do not apply to manual trades or the overall account risk management. So let's take notice that there are 5 different sections. We have the drawdown settings, account allocation, per trade allocation, max trade allocation, and trade filter. The drawdown settings are extremely important. Let's go over them one at a time. The account soft drawdown, when enabled, will limit your net liquidity exposure. When and if this dollar or percentage amount is reached, RTS will prevent any additional trades from occurring. Account hard drawdown, when enabled, is similar. However, when it reaches that percentage or dollar amount, it will automatically close all positions and shut down for the day. Position drawdown will also limit your net liquidity exposure. However, this is on a per position basis. It's real important to understand that the drawdown settings directly are in correlation with the effective buying power here, which in this situation we have $100,000 allocated to our trading account. So if I decide to use the account soft drawdown and I have it set for 1%, it's $1,000. And that 1% is 1% of the $100,000 that we have here as effective buying power. It is, in actuality, only 50% of our buying power because we have $200,000 in our trading account right now. If I were to bring this up to $200,000, now it's 100% of our effective buying power. I'm going to bring this back down to $100,000. So the account allocation, the effective buying power, is what you're allowing RTS to use when you're deploying strategies. Okay, so let's take a look at the next section here. Per trade allocation. You can only select one of the 4 radio buttons. So let's take a look at our first selection. RTS 15, 1/15 of buying power deployed. This allows RTS to use 1/15 of your total effective buying power per trade. Okay, the next one down is fixed percent of buying power deployed. This allows you to select a certain percentage you want RTS to use of your effective buying power per trade. The next one is fixed dollar of buying power deployed. It's very similar to the one above it. The only difference is we're using a fixed dollar amount rather than a percentage. And remember, this is a fixed dollar amount per trade of your effective buying power. And if you have selected fixed percent of buying power or fixed dollar of buying power, you can actually go down here and specify if you want to round it off to the hundreds, tens, or ones. And if you select the next one down, fixed share size, this will allow you to limit the amount of shares per trade. Okay, and the next one down is pretty straightforward. We have max trade allocation. You can enable or disable any of these 3. If you choose to enable one of them, to the right you can change the value that you're comfortable with. We have max number of trade/position. The next one is the max shares per trade. And the third one down is max number of trades per symbol. You can enable one or all 3 of these depending on what you're comfortable with and what you want RTS to do. Next one down is pretty straightforward also. We have trade filter, min and max trade price. You can enable this and set the value of the min and max trade price that you're comfortable with. And the same goes with the one below it, min and max trade volume. Again, you can go ahead and enable this and set this to 1 million as your minimum volume and say 100 million. And remember, this directly affects your strategies that you deploy within Wizard Lab. And if you have a strategy that you're certain it should work and I don't understand why it's not firing off properly, well, there's probably a good chance if you went back into your risk settings here, something is not matching with what you have set in your strategy. And down here in the bottom left-hand corner, you see a speaker icon. That is a mute button. So if you wanted to mute all the Prodigio sounds, you can go ahead and select that. And the last thing I want to touch on is the reset button and the apply button. If you wanted to reset the effective buying power within the paper trading account, all you have to do is click this reset button, and whether you're at 0 or at 500,000 or whatever number you have there, it will reset it back to the default amount, which is $100,000. And finally, if you're working on your settings page and want to have your adjustments go into effect immediately, select apply and you can continue working on your settings. If you have finished making all of your adjustments, you can simply click OK. That will close your settings window and your changes will go into effect immediately. And that concludes our tutorial on the risk settings within the Prodigio RTS platform. Thank you for joining us. And as always, we can always be reached at support@prodigiorts.com.
Nothing contained in this education tutorial video constitutes a solicitation, recommendation, promotion, or endorsement of any particular security, other investment, product, transaction, or investment. We do not give investment advice or advise anyone on the value of securities or other investment instruments. We do not recommend trades or transactions in securities or other financial instruments. Investment-related information we provide is for educational and informational purposes only, and no trade ideas or other references we make to a particular security is a recommendation to buy, sell, or hold that or any other security, any portfolio of securities, or to affect any transaction or investment strategy. None of the information we provide is tailored to your investment needs or the investment needs of any person. We do not guarantee that following any of the information we provide will result in profitable investment activities. We do not warrant or guarantee the accurateness, completeness, or adequacy of the information we provide. Any use of information from this educational tutorial is entirely at your own risk.